They are the most familiar with their staff, with their resources, and with their student populations. They have relationships with the teachers and the parents. There is no option before us without risk. But after reading their plans, I feel comfortable in this decision.
NBC News correspondent Ellison Barber is outside a high school near Jackson, Mississippi. Hey, Ellison, so that school just decided to push its start date back. What happened there?
Hey, Savannah. Yeah, so we're in Rankin County, and they were initially planning to have students come back to school, officially start the school this coming Monday, but school officials made the decision late yesterday to delay their start by a week. Now they will start on August 17th. They gave families the option of kind of two different routes when it comes to sending their children back to school. They could do what they call enhanced traditional learning, or they could do virtual online learning. Obviously, the enhanced traditional learning is in-class, in-person instruction. A third backup option they had, based on what health officials could potentially say as they got closer to the initial planned first day of school, was a hybrid option for the people who chose to send their children in for the enhanced traditional learning. Now they say they're going to start with that model for anyone who does in-person class. That means half their students will be in the classroom for in-person instruction, while the other half are doing their courses, their instruction online. That's the plan for now here. But as we saw yesterday, things can kind of change at the very last minute.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So you mentioned how families have these choices. What about teachers? How do teachers there feel about the state letting most districts decide for themselves and what that's going to mean for them and their jobs?
Yeah, so the governor decided that in 8 counties where really there are the highest amount of cases, that students in grades 7 through 12, they would have a delayed start date. But for the most part, he's letting every single school district make their own decision as it relates to reopening plans. We spoke to a teacher at this high school, and they told me that they felt like most schools, particularly the ones in this county, they should have been delayed even further across the board. He also said he feels like across this state, especially when you look at the percent of positive, it's almost 1 in 4 tests coming back positive for COVID-19 statewide right now. He said that kind of every school should be starting out with virtual learning, and that should be the plan really moving forward until they see a major change in the numbers here. Here's a little more of what he told us.
I think that the ask of teachers this year is more than it has ever been in past years. Everybody's going to try their best, but we're all kind of floundering, especially with things changing day by day. We don't know how to plan.
He also told me he was frustrated with what he feels like is kind of negative rhetoric towards teachers right now. He said, back in March when all of this started, teachers were praised for so quickly shifting to virtual learning. And he said it feels like now people are dismissing their concerns and suggesting they just don't want to go back to work, when really they want to be in the classroom. They want students back as much as anyone. They just feel like the sacrifice they have to make right now is that they can't do that because they don't believe, and he doesn't believe, that it is safe for the staff or the students to all be back in the classroom together.
And now, what are these school districts deciding? Other school districts in the state, it's up to them. What are you hearing? Are they reopening or not?
So it's interesting because the governor announced his decision on schools reopening yesterday, but there were already some school districts that were actually open. Schools in Corinth, Mississippi opened about a week and a half ago. They announced just a couple of hours ago that they had another individual test positive within their school district. We don't know if that individual is a student or teacher, but total, that means in the last week and a half they've been open, this one school district has seen 6 positive COVID-19 cases. Savannah?
Wow. Oh, that is tough to hear and just so harrowing for those teachers to have to deal with. Thanks for your reporting, Ellison.
You bet.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.